I'm Miro Beblavy, I'm from Slovakia. I'm a member of parliament in Slovakia for the last 6 years. Before that, I worked as international consultant and I also worked in government. I was a deputy minister for social affairs and labor. And I also started several NGOs in Slovakia before that. Things that influence corruption that we can change: quality of public administration, things like lack of discretion for officials. So if officials can do whatever they want, that usually tends to support corruption. If you have clear rules for things, if you have clear laws, and if they are really implemented, if people know that if they break them, they will be punished, that's to prevent corruption. But also, if you have systems that don't create scarcities, because scarcity is where corruption is usually most successful. So if you have bad access to healthcare, bad access to education, then very often you have lots of corruption. And the last thing that tends to support a lot of corruption is if you have a lack of public control, especially with regard to top-level politicians, things like public procurement. I think they are the same at all levels. They are related to three things. One is increasing the probability that if you abuse office, this will be discovered. For this, usually transparency is the best. The second thing is about trying to match demand and supply. So you need to work to balance, to have better health services, better education, more affordable, and that tends to help at the local level. And the third thing that helps is also having strong law enforcement. Political party financing and the influence of private people over politics, of private business interests, is a problem from the US to Ukraine or Russia. So this is not about completely removing these influences, but about limiting them to a situation where they cannot really harm the country's public interest. There are several things that can help. One of them that Ukraine is currently implementing is a good system of political party financing. If you have a combination of some state funds and also clear rules on limits on other funding and transparency about that can help. So that a strong conflict of interest law. So if public officials abuse their office for themselves or for someone else, that you can have a chance to discover that and punish that. That usually goes with the ways with instruments to check incomes and assets of public officials. And the third thing is, to be honest, attracting high caliber people to politics. Because even if you have all these laws, if politics is seen as something that's just for bad people, dirty people, or not very capable people, then not much will change even with all these laws. So you also need to create a sense of excitement that politics is also for people who want to change the country for better. Because politics is competition. And if the good people are not competing, the bad people will win by default, as very often happens.